What's going on, you guys? It's your boy, Pepsi, the dude with attitude. So crack a 40 and check your rollies. I hope everyone had a peptastic Thanksgiving. Enjoyed the turkey, enjoyed your family, friends. Hope no one had to deal with anything too dramatic. But now we're kicking back and getting ready for Christmas and still enjoying The Mandalorian as we reach episode 4. So today we will be reviewing it. I know it's a little late. There's a second time it's been late. I was out of town, and but I was able to watch it last night. I haven't watched it twice, but instead of watching it twice this time, I got like 3 or 4 people's different opinions. So instead of just me and my roommate this time, we're going to be able to give you a lot of feedback. So as always, we'll start with just talking about the episode without any spoilers, and then we'll give you a warning before we dive straight into the spoilers. So first off, as always, visually stunning, if not the most stunning yet, because this, and I could be wrong, but this takes place back on a planet we've seen in one of the movies. And we get to see more of the planet. And it is beautiful. I mean, wow. I love what they did with this planet. With the planet and with some of the characters, they introduced maybe not a new race, maybe it is in canon in the books or comics or something, but it's the first time we've seen them on screen, I feel. And everything visually, 10 out of 10. Beautiful. Story was interesting to me. It had a completely different tone than anything else. Like the first episode, if you haven't watched that and you're watching this review, then I'm sorry, you're going to get spoilers, obviously. But the first episode, we had this very vague, and we didn't really know that much about this guy. He's just called the Mandalorian, and it has armor that, looks pretty badass. And then we see that, he has, he doesn't want to kill the kid. He's going to deliver the kid, but he's not going to kill it. Episode 2, he's on his way to deliver the kid, and we don't learn a bunch about him. We still get the flashbacks, but we do kind of see this little bit of relationship between him and the little kid grow. I mean, and we got to see a lot of good action, as always. And then episode 3, he takes the kid back, but he doesn't want the kid to be tested and killed and all this. He cares about the kid. So we definitely see a lot of character development and more mystery get lifted as we see more of these flashbacks and whatnot. We get to find out more and more about his character, but all of it's still kind of a darker tone. We see a lot of killing and this and that, and that's not to say we don't see that in episode 4. What I'm saying is episode 4 has a much lighter, like yes, it has this and that in it, but you can tell it's definitely lighter, and I like that. It doesn't have to stay the same and be all dark and this and that. This was cool. You do get to see character development here with him, because this one. This isn't a major spoiler, but he's trying to decide what to do with the kid. And he almost finds something, and then it basically, it goes a different way. And you'll be able to see that. But the story in this introduced a lot of new characters, introduced a few interesting dynamics, or it really showed us a new situation that the Mandalorian was in if he came up to someone that was as of his skill. And it also showed something really huge. Mando has respect. Now, my roommate watching this said that he and he gave the whole episode overall a lower rating. But the reason he did was because, not just because of the lighter tone, but he felt like some of it was slightly out of character. I mean, he said he liked it because it showed that the Mandalorians, Mando's a good person and this and that and blah blah blah, and it shows that he's a human being and he cares. But he also feels like it kind of went a little bit, I don't know, a little bit over. I don't entirely agree with that. Just because you're a Mandalorian does not make you. We find out why he's a Mandalorian in this episode, by the way. So that's also pretty epic. Personally, I don't think it was too out of stretch. I like it. I like that he has respect and has boundaries. And we'll get into what I mean in a little bit. So story, I'm going to give story, because it was really, really good in this one, a 10 out of 10. Moving on to overall episode. What do I give the overall episode? Well, first off, my roommate has given all the episodes 10 out of 10 so far, just overall. However, this episode, this is the first episode that he's not given a 10 out of 10. My roommate has given it a 7. He said he still liked it. It wasn't as good as the other ones to him. So it's a first 7 for him. Okay. And then we actually had this was actually something special for you guys. I had someone who doesn't really like or hate Star Wars, but he's seen some of Star Wars, right? And he'll watch it, but he's never watched any of the Mandalorian episodes, and he doesn't really understand and know much about Star Wars, to be honest. And he watched episode 4 without watching any of the others. And his take on it was the acting didn't seem real, which was surprising to me, but hey, to each their own. He didn't really care for the acting, and the story, he didn't think it was bad, but he didn't think much of it. And his rating, for someone who hasn't seen the other episodes, was actually a 6.6, I believe. 6 point something. But don't take that as a bad thing. Take that as someone who doesn't really care or hate Star Wars, someone who hasn't seen the other episodes, who just saw one episode of this, gave it higher than a 5. And to me, higher than a 5 means you enjoyed it. Like 6, yeah, you could argue it's bad, but anything lower than that, or a 5, means like, So, take that as you will. Another buddy of mine, friend of mine, he's like a little brother. He really enjoyed the episode still. But now it comes down to my rating, and my overall rating of this episode is going to be different than any of the other ratings. I think I gave episode 1 like a 7, and one of the other episodes an 8, and one of them a 9. This is going to be pretty weird, because my roommate gave all the other ones 10, and he's finally given this one a 7, and now we're flip-flopping, because I am giving this episode a 10 out of 10. The story was great. It felt new. Only thing that's kind of weird is for an episode that's 10 out of 10, you could possibly not watch episode 4, as far as I know, and you could still watch episode 5. Now, that's not because it's filler, it's just because, like, literally, I don't know, like, you could probably skip, we'll have to wait for episode 5, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. You'd probably need episode 4 for other episodes, but what I'm saying is, that's kind of how it came across as. But, 10 out of 10. Alrighty, you guys, so I'm going to give y'all approximately 30 seconds to leave. We're doing spoilers. Thank y'all for coming, and as always, may the Force be with you. And fun fact for people that are enjoying The Mandalorian while we're waiting for everyone else to leave. For those that are staying and for those that are leaving, as you know, there's going to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi live-action TV series, right? Well, there is also confirmation that not only the actor that plays Darth Maul in the movies and in the Clone Wars and all that. He's going to show up in the Kenobi series, but he is also going to have his own series. They're working on that. Now, this part hasn't absolutely been confirmed, but the people that are saying it are the same people that talked about Kenobi being confirmed, and that was back in March. So I say give it about 6 months and it'll be confirmed. And on top of that, for anyone that loves Thrawn, that's read the books, that enjoyed him in Rebels, guess what? We're getting a live-action Thrawn TV series coming soon. A lot of people are getting angry about these live-action stuff. I'm enjoying it. Alrighty, so I hope everyone left, because guess what? It is spoiler time, and oh my. Alright, so if this was Endor, wow, which I think it was. Like, I watched this and I was really tired, but, still, like, if this was Endor, it was so nice to be back. To see that it wasn't just a forest. It wasn't just a forest. It was so much more than that. It had all these other spots, and then there was this big old village where people were, getting attacked by these, by this other tribe or whatever, and they were, they were pretty cool looking too. It was pretty, it was pretty fresh to me. It was something that we saw once or twice in the actual Clone Wars TV show, and I think maybe we saw once or twice in Rebels. And it was nice to see it finally on the big screen. It was kind of like that scene where we see the super battle droid attacking Mando's family. So that was also a good scene. So what I was getting at earlier with my roommate was the scene he that made him feel like it was out of character was the scene where when she said this planet isn't big enough for the two of us, basically find your own planet. He just basically was like, "Yep, we're gonna leave." I understand. See, the reason I'm okay with that is one, he has a fucking kid there. The only time he fought her was when the kid wasn't there. He doesn't want to fight, and he has respect. So I absolutely loved that. Okay, he's not just some, oh, well, I'm a cowboy. I'm going to put my steed in the penthouse, and I'm going to come and take over these parts. No, he's like, okay, I'll find another planet. Respect, and you should have respect for this girl character who I can't remember her name. She is a badass, and it kind of seemed like there's two possible love interests, and don't think I'm like Disney like they were with Finn and Poe, or not Finn and Poe. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Not Finn and Poe. Finn and what's her name? Rose, not Poe. Rose, whatever. They just kind of threw them together. That's not what I'm doing with the Mandalorian and this ex-soldier. What I'm saying is it seemed like there might be something there. But where it really seemed like there might be something, and that's what I loved about this episode, was the thing with Mando and the actual village girl. It seemed like when she was taking off his helmet, I knew she wasn't going to do it. She wouldn't be able to do it. But it was still cool. It was like a moment where you see Mando does want to have a quiet life. He wants to relax, but he is a Mandalorian, and he's got to take care of that kid, and he's got to be on the run. And yeah. So I like that they built on those, and I think maybe later seasons or even in later episodes we might see something. I don't think we're going to see something with the village girl. I mean, it's possible, but there's not really any reason for him to go back to the planet unless he's looking for the one girl, the ex-soldier. So I think they have a lot of potential there. But they don't really need a love interest, especially not in Season 1. Work on that in later seasons, maybe not even Season 2, because there's two ways I wouldn't mind this series ending. One with Mando, like Season 4 or 5, dying to save the kid, and the kid's older maybe. Or actually 3 ways. 2, Mando taking off his helmet and living with that village girl and having a nice quiet life. Or 3, I don't know, taking off his helmet and still living quiet life just by himself, I don't know. But that works too. Something else I liked about this episode, there was not a horror feel, but definitely a thriller film. That ATST and the redness and how it came out of the dark, that was cool. Like if I was in Star Wars, and I was one of those kids, I would have been shitting myself like, holy crap, what the fuck is this shit? Like, man, holy shit. But there was so much stuff I liked to this episode, and a lot of character development that was just kind of like, it was like so stretched out, but not in a bad way. It was everywhere, kind of. And one thing I do like is the way Mando is taking care of the kid. Compassion. He's not just like, oh God, I gotta take care of the kid. Fuck, I hate child support. No, he's actually taking care of the kid. So, he's being nice. I think Baby Yoda is the cutest thing in the world, and I'm kind of like everyone else in that regard. But I'm loving the dynamic of the relationship between him and the Mandalorian. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing if other Mandalorians show up again. I mean, that was my favorite thing so far in the whole show. My number one favorite thing, all the Mandalorians teaming up together. Probably my second favorite thing is that ATST thing going on that they had. And then after that, where the Mandalorian's beaten down in episode 2, and he's just holding his knife, and he knows he's possibly going to die, and then out of nowhere Yoda's like, hello, I have the Force! Misa gonna kill you! I don't know why I did that. He's not a Gungan. Side fact, I have someone that I know swears up and down that this Baby Yoda, which isn't Yoda, isn't of the Yoda race. He swears up and down it's not. He thinks it's something else. I'm like, what the hell do you think it is? A baby Hutt? Like, what the hell? The creators, like, do the creators have to come out and say, yeah, it's of the Yoda race? No. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of good dynamic, a lot of good action, and yes, I love the lighter tone. And I love how it showed, each one of these shows the scenarios. Well, he's got the baby, he saved the baby. Well, maybe he wants to drop the baby off somewhere. Well, this episode probably answered, hey, he can't drop it off anywhere because things are going to be hunting it down. So now the next episode is probably going to be about him basically like, okay, hey, I can't drop the baby off anywhere. I got to take out all these things. I got to go to the source. And I gotta just defend this baby. Or it's just gonna be about him finding a place to lay low with the baby and trying to live life. But I don't think he's gonna try to pawn the baby off anymore. He might. I don't think we've seen the last of the soldier. I also don't think we've seen the last of the village girl. But it wouldn't surprise me with the village girl. But it would surprise me with the soldier. They can't just throw away that character. They can't. Or both characters. They can really, both characters are really good. This show is everything I've wanted and more. I can't wait to see what they do with Obi-Wan and Maul and all that. I'm gonna say this before y'all leave and before we finish this up. In the Clone Wars and in Rebels, they take off their helmets. Okay. So, I don't know why. Maybe it's just this group of Mandalorians. I hope it gets answered in the show. Honestly, I think the creators made a mistake, which is okay. I think they're like, it'd be cool if they can never take off their helmets or something like that. And that's fine, it is. But I think they're going to give us an actual explanation, but in Season 2. I think the explanation is going to become in Season 2, and I think that right now they're sitting back and saying, yeah, Clone Wars, Rebels, they were able to take them off, and okay, we got to come up with a reason. And they can honestly do that, because this takes place after the Clone Wars, way after the Clone Wars, and after Rebels, even though Rebels takes place before the Empire and also kind of after the Empire. It kind of jumps. At the very end, it kind of jumps, like, I think, right after Return of the Jedi. But this, Mandalorian is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So they can, maybe now, Maybe in the last 5 years there's a reason they have to do it. I don't know. Also, before we leave, I did want to say this. I love the reasoning for why he's a Mandalorian. It's not something boring like he was born on Mandalore, because that's how most of the other ones are. He was saved by the Mandalorians, and now he's a Mandalorian, which is kind of generic and cliche, but I still love it. I don't care. Alrighty, you guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video and review. If you did, leave a like, and if you want future content like this, more reviews, subscribe, hit the bell if you already haven't. And if we could have done anything to make this review better or future reviews better, please comment down below and we will get it done. And if you dislike this video, Baby Yoda is not going to be very happy with you. You are a voodoo poodoo. And anyway, we will see you next time when you're ready for some more Star Wars reviews. And remember, Pepsi then, Pepsi now, Pepsi forever. And most importantly, survive and endure. Destiny is all. And if you're not down with that, we only got 2 words for you. Fuck off. Have a peptastic day.
Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict.